It's been a while since the Dallas Cowboys were the best team in the NFC East. And judging by what we've seen recently, it might be a little longer before that's the case again. Notably, that's why Stephen A. Smith doesn't like their chances to win the division this season. Talking on First Take, the controversial pundit joked about the Cowboys' possibilities in the NFC East. "I have an outside chance of moving my hairline forward. I mean, sure, there's an outside chance of the Cowboys winning the NFC East. We're not thinking about the Dallas Cowboys in terms of beating the Eagles or the Washington Commanders," Smith said. "I have an outside chance of moving my hairline forward." Of course, Smith is well known for his hot takes and mockery of the Cowboys, so his words should always be taken with a grain of salt when it comes to that organization. Nevertheless, objectively speaking, the Cowboys aren't on the same level as the Washington Commanders or Philadelphia Eagles, at least on paper. The Commanders have one of the most, if not the most, promising quarterbacks in all of football. They also revamped their offensive line and are fresh off a trip to the NFC Championship game. The Eagles, on the other hand, have the most stacked roster in the league, with multiple stars on both sides of the field. The Cowboys should fare better than the ever-struggling New York Giants, although they should also be better than they were last season. Granted, anything can happen in sports, and we've seen teams shock the world every year, but barring a major turn of events, the Cowboys will have a lot of catching up to do in the division. Making it in the NFL is never easy. Making it in the NFL as an undrafted free agent is even more difficult, but for Dallas Cowboys tight end Rivaldo Fairweather, it's been a wild journey. The Cowboys Wire dropped an interesting nugget this week with an attention-grabbing headline: "Former punter looking to carve out role on Cowboys as UDFA tight end." At first, one would think, there is absolutely no way. But, as it turns out, Fairweather was recruited by his high school football coach during his junior year. Fairweather joined the team as a punter and apparently excelled. He was a hell of a punter. His coach at Boyd H. Anderson High School in Lauderdale Lakes, Florida, Darian Gray, told the Montgomery Advertiser. He averaged maybe like 45 yards a punt. Auburn Tigers tight end Rivaldo Fairweather runs drills during Auburn Tigers Football Pro Day / Jake Crandall / Advertiser / USA Today Network via Main Images. His senior year of high school, Fairweather was moved to tight end so the team could take advantage of his physical tools. That was the first time he had ever played the position. During his final year in high school, the 6'3", 242-pound Fairweather hauled in 40 catches for 812 yards and 15 touchdowns. Fairweather then committed to FIU as a three-star recruit before transferring to the SEC to play for the Auburn Tigers after 3 years. While he saw limited action in college, he's now trying to make it in the NFL on his raw potential alone as an undrafted free agent at a position where there is a surprising amount of depth. Dallas has Jake Ferguson, who just signed a 4-year extension with the team, former second-round pick Luke Schoonmaker, undrafted free agent Brevin Spanford, who has been making waves, John Stevens Jr., who is coming off a second torn ACL, and Princeton Fant. Before Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs began to dominate the headlines, the NFL media made it their mission to attack Dak Prescott in a boatload of quarterback rankings this offseason. Most Dallas Cowboys fans know that he needs to step up on the biggest stage, but some of these rankings were just too ridiculous to ignore. Now, former Cowboys quarterback Ben DiNucci is coming to Prescott's defense. DiNucci views Prescott as someone that NFL teams should fear in the 2025 season. It's not radical to see why. After all, Prescott finished second in the MVP voting behind Lamar Jackson in 2023, his last healthy season before being sidelined for the second half of 2024. Barring any injuries, and Dallas has suffered plenty of them already, the league should watch out for a potential MVP season for Prescott, as he's already developed a strong on-field friendship with George Pickens. Ex-Cowboys QB Ben DiNucci thinks Dak Prescott is primed for a big year. Honestly, it's easy to predict this if you're DiNucci, or anyone for that matter. In 2023, Prescott threw for 36 passing touchdowns, the most in the NFL, along with a career-high passer rating of 105.9. With Pickens pairing with CeeDee Lamb and a young offensive line that looks to build together for the long run, this could be an MVP-caliber season for Prescott. The only concern would be the avalanche of teams he has to go through in November and December. DiNucci never became a long-term investment from the Cowboys, but he'll be remembered for stepping into the line of fire during the 2020 season on the road against the Eagles. Even though DiNucci fell short in a 23-9 slugfest, he was only looked at as a third-string quarterback at best. DiNucci's credibility remains strong, as he was able to see firsthand how Prescott performs. He didn't play at all in the 2021 season, but he knows as well as anyone that Prescott shouldn't be disrespected. If Prescott plays to his strengths, he might be vying for an MVP trophy along with Jackson, Josh Allen, or Patrick Mahomes. The Dallas Cowboys and Micah Parsons have still not come to an agreement on a contract extension, and there may be some frustration building up within the fan base. During training camp, fans were yelling, "Pay Micah" at Jerry Jones, but he didn't seem to be bothered by the chants. Days later, COO Stephen Jones spoke about the fans chanting for them to pay Parsons and basically dismiss their frustration, and then seemed to take a slight dig at Parsons. "It doesn't change anything," Jones said. "We want to pay Micah too. He's gotta want to be paid." Jones was recently asked about his comments about Parsons, and let's just say he's staying quiet this time around. Laughter. "I think I've said all I'm going to say for now on Micah," Jones said. Both Jerry and Stephen have had their fair share of words about Parsons and the contract negotiations. Nonetheless, Parsons has decided not to hold out and participate in training camp with his teammates. It's not certain what the holdup could be with negotiations, but Jerry has a track record of drawing out these types of things. He did it last season with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, so there's no surprise he's doing it again. Cowboys and Micah Parsons still negotiating. The Cowboys and Parsons have been trying to get a contract extension done for some time now, and it doesn't sound like things have progressed as much, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. "I would say right now we're nowhere on that deal," Schefter said on the Pat McAfee show. "I would say right now we're further away from a deal in late July, early August than we were in late March, early April. The two sides have gone backwards, not forward. I don't think they're speaking very much these days, if at all." Parsons is one of the top edge rushers in the league, and he's going to want to get paid like it, similar to Max Crosby, TJ Watt, and Myles Garrett. If he can get around that same ballpark, he may be satisfied, but there's a feeling they could be lowballing him. He has the stats to prove he deserves the money, and he's been the best player on the Cowboys defense for some time. The hope now is that the Cowboys and Parsons can come together and get something done before the season.